Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Laura Lee here from Artistically Mused. I'm so excited to be here. Just a couple of quick things to talk about before we give Santa and Mrs. Claus a call. Number one, we are doing this as a fundraiser for the Santa Fund. So everybody has purchased tickets. Thank you so much. We've also included a link. Anybody can donate. That would be fabulous. We appreciate your donations. Let's raise lots of money for the Santa Claus Fund. Just to let everybody know, I am also, for the very first time, Artistically Mused is live streaming on TikTok. So we're going to be doing a TikTok live stream of our painting as well. Very, very exciting. Hello, everybody. Samantha says Jenny and her are very excited. I do not have my TARDIS mug today. I'm sorry, guys. Just a couple of reminders. Number one, there is a little bit of a time delay between what I'm seeing and what you're seeing. So if you are asking a question or you have some questions for Santa and Mrs. Claus, we may take a second to see it, but we will get to them. We're so, so excited. I'm going to quickly go over the supplies that we need, and then we're going to give the North Pole a call. So the first things we're going to be needing, I'm going to need a small, a medium, and a large brush. I'll show you very quickly. So I've got my small, medium, and large brushes. I've got all of my basic paint colors. So I've got my primary colors, my red, my blue, my yellow, and I've got my black and my white. If you have any other colors, that's fabulous. I have my blue as well. I think I forgot to say blue. But if you are using dollar store paint, fabulous, works just as well. And that is the perfect consistency for what we'll need. I do have a couple of extra things here. If you guys have them, great. You can always add them later on. I have these fabulous sparkly paint sticks. If you have them, great. If not, you can do it later on. That's okay. And let's see here. I'll give you a second. You're going to need, I usually use these for my palettes, just like regular paper plates. You are going to need a small circle, okay? I am using I'll show you really quickly here. I am using an 11 by 14 canvas today. Whatever surface you're painting on, that's fine. I am going to use this to make my circle, okay, just so you guys know. So if you can find a small circle, that's wonderful, or get mom and dad to help you, that's fine. Grayson and Danica are here, so excited. Lisa's here. Rachel's here. April's here. So many people are ready. Is everybody ready? So let's see here. What else do we have to talk about? I think that's about it. Are we ready to make that call to Santa? Let me see some thumbs up, guys, if we're ready to make that call to Santa. Hit the thumbs up lots. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Come on. Hit those thumbs up. Perfect. Okay, so I am going to make that call. Are we ready? Oh, Sophie and Alyssa are there. Oh, yay. I'm so happy everybody's here. Okay, so we are going to make that call, guys. Hold on. Are we ready?
Oh, Laura Lee. Hi. How are you?
Hello. How are you doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well. We have a lot of northern lights this day, so I'm glad to hear the phone call got through. I'm so excited to paint with you today.
I'm so excited to paint with you guys. We are going to be doing this right here. Isn't he beautiful?
Oh, it looks like Frosty.
It is. It is. We're so excited. I have so many people on the line watching today. We're all excited. I am going to get everything ready. Do you have all your supplies ready?
I have my brushes, my pinks, my blue, my red, my yellow, my white, my black. My canvas is all set up. I just have to call Santa and get him in here. Just give me a second, okay?
Santa.
Santa, Lord Lee.
It's so cold out there, Mrs. Claus.
I have your hot chocolate ready.
I'm so glad you got my hot chocolate today.
What?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, hello, Laura Lee.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, it's cold out there. Minus 39 today.
Oh, my goodness.
little on the chilly side, and Mrs. Claus got my hot chocolate here. So how are you, Laura Lee?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't see it. There we go. Are you getting ready for Christmas? How are things going?
Well, the elves are working away in the workshop, and everybody's been very busy. Since we last were together, we got obviously some new things we're working on. And of course, we're still dealing with this funny thing with the sea, COVID. I don't know.
Some kind of pandemic
thing. Pandemic thing. Yeah. But we're doing great up here in the North Pole. Today's it's a sunny day here in the North Pole. It's just minus 39. It feels like just a little on the cold side.
You know it's cold, Laura Lee, when Santa leaves his coat on in the house.
Oh, yes, for sure. Well, I am going to give you guys a few minutes to say hello and chit-chat with everybody before we get started. I'm just going to switch my camera view so you guys can see the full painting a lot better. I'll leave you guys for a few minutes. I'll get set up, and we'll get started soon. Sound good?
Sounds great. I'm anxious to say hi to the kids.
Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye-bye. We'll see you later. Yeah, it's all the reindeer's doing well.
Good.
Yeah, Rudolph is just a little out of sorts today. I don't know what's going on. I think you just maybe got to get a little bit of a situation straightened out with him, but the rest are doing very, very well.
Good.
So I hear we have lots of children today with us.
I hear there's quite a few kids
today. We've got some friends from Mattawa today. Phoenix and Raven are from Mattawa, and they're watching with us. And we got Lisa Young all the way from BC, and we got Willow.
Oh, no, I know. Willow's the one who likes the coloring books.
Oh,
I know very
who Willow good. Is. Yeah, we have Hannah.
There's my pizza girl.
Oh, yeah, and she loves her fruits and her veggies. I know you've been trying to get me to eat those fruits and veggies, but I don't do very well with them, as you can see.
No, you're the pizza guy.
Too. I love my pizza. Yeah. And Emily, who just loves, and she plays some beautiful, beautiful music on her piano.
I enjoy watching her when we peek in. She does beautiful music.
Yes, and Jessica coming to us. Okay,
she's our swimmer in Alberta.
Fort McMurray, Alberta. Boy. Right. It's kind of cold up there today. That Alberta, I got some really, really wonderful people out there that I know in that Alberta country.
I think that's almost as cold as us.
Oh, and there's from Edmonton now. We got Haley.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, and
she's got her friend Jessie, I bet you. I bet you they're painting together
They're going to be painting today with us. Well, we're just so glad to have everybody there today with us. And no matter where you are, Santa's going to be there to see you shortly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, is she getting set up there? I think Laura Lee's getting ready. Laura Lee?
Okay, Laura Lee's. Well, we're just going to say hello to Sophie.
No, she's still doing a few things.
She's still doing a few things. Well, down there in Lindsay, and we hope everybody in Lindsay's doing okay, and that you're all doing well. You take care there, Sophie. We're looking forward to talking to you more today.
Hello, everybody. I'm back.
Okay.
Hi,
I'm going to have some more hot chocolate.
Pretty.
And a little hot chocolate here, and I'm going to get my gloves off. Okay, and get kind of very nice.
Laura Lee, I'm so excited to paint that. I've been hooked ever since we did Rudolph last time.
Oh yes, we had so much fun, didn't we?
We did. The elves are laughing at me now because all I want to do is paint, and I burnt a couple of gingerbread houses because I forgot they were in the oven.
And everybody keeps telling me in the workshop that I need to paint, but that's what I have my elves to do for, and that's you're so much better at that. I just have too much on my mind right now, and these children, from Edmonton and Alberta and children all over the place. Oh my mind's just rattled right now. So I am so glad that you're here to paint today.
I'll paint and you can talk to the kids.
Great. I love talking to the children.
Okay, Laura Lee, we're ready.
Are we ready? We're going to get started, okay?
Okay.
Okie dokie. So I've got my little paper plate here, and we're going to use that. We're going to mark off. I'm going to use a Sharpie so you guys can see it, okay? But you guys can use a pencil. You don't need to use a Sharpie. So I am going to make a circle, not quite in the center of the canvas, but down just a little bit there, okay? And I'm going to center that. And I'm just going to very, very carefully. And like I said, I'm using a Sharpie so you guys can see this. But you
doing a very good job. She knows how to do that circle.
There we go. Just like that, guys.
Oh, I probably should find myself a cookie.
I'm going to straighten my camera here. Give me 1 second. I'm a little crooked. There we go. Is that better?
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Yes, you're very. I can see this. I can see your canvas very well now. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, are we ready to get going?
We are.
Awesome. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to get our black ready. And we're going to put some black on my palette here. Okay. So we're going to start off with the big brush.
Oh, got my big brush. Okay.
Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint the corner of the canvas on every side, just like this.
Oh, Mrs. Claus is doing so very, very good at this.
She's getting really good at painting.
She's really got this down, and I'm starting to settle down now and thinking about all of those kids, okay, out there today, and Lindsay and Alberta and that place called Ontario or something like that. The place there, kind of like the North Pole, North Bay or something. Lots of folks are looking to in today.
That's where Laura Lee's calling us from.
That's why you're North Bay. Well, my mind gets a little confused, you know, these days, Santa.
Oh, you have lots on your mind, Santa.
Yeah, a lot on my mind.
Lots on your mind.
That looks really good, Laura Lee.
So we're just painting the corners with just some black, just like that. Doesn't need to be perfect, okay? All good. And now you're going to set your black aside because we're going to use that again later on. And you're going to rinse off your brush. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Claus, did you get your brush bath that I sent you?
Oh, yes. I was going to tell you. I got so excited talking to the kids. Look, it came in today. The elves dropped it off.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Me too. It's going to, I tell you, I'm just getting so into this painting, and your ideas are just amazing for things like this. My brushes, they're going to be amazing for that all the time I paint.
Oh, it's great for cleaning them and taking care of them. And just to let you know, I have that available in our store at artisticallymuse.com. And we're also going to be not only donating money from our fundraiser today, I'm going to be donating part of the proceeds from the brush baths to the Santa Fund as well.
Oh, what a great idea. We so need the money for the Santa Fund.
We do.
There's a lot of kids this year that would really benefit from that.
We do. We do. And just to remind everybody, we have a link in the description of the video as well if anybody wants to do a donation as well. Okay, so now we're going to put some white on our palette. I've got quite a amount there. I know it's a little hard to see. Can you see that?
Yep, I can see it.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my white, and we're going to start just around. We're just going to paint around that circle. A nice amount of paint. Don't worry if you go over your lines a little bit. It's okay.
You make this so easy, Laura Lee, because you know Santa, he just doesn't stay much inside the lines. He's kind of an outside the box type of.
I know.
They always tell me he paints over things, and they have to go back in and touch it up. So,
Raven and Phoenix, say hello.
Oh, hi, Raven.
Hi, Phoenix. Oh, Merry Christmas, Raven and Phoenix. Oh, glad to have you with us today.
We are going to now, I'm going to kind of show you guys, we're going to paint the white. Now that we've got it around that circle, I know it's hard to see on the screen, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to paint a white strip just up, right up to where that black is. Try not to touch it.
That's a little tricky, but I think I got it.
It's okay if you touch it a little bit. That's okay. Just up against it like that. And then we're going to do some blending.
Oh, this is the part I'm really excited about.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Okay. And I'm just going to add a little extra paint around because we need a little bit extra in there.
Okay,
and then once you've got your white in there, what we're going to start doing, we're going to start at the corner And we're going to start going back and forth just up into that black, just a little bit. And then you're going to work your way down. And we're just blending that in. And what's going to happen is that black is going to turn a little bit gray.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's going to turn a little bit gray. And
So you can give me a thumbs up. How's it going? You guys finding this easy? Laura Lee's making it so easy.
Oh, it's so easy, guys. It's so easy. You're just going to blend that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same in each of the corners. So you're going to blend that and work your way into the white. Just kind of go back and forth and back and forth.
Hello, Bristol. Just want to say hi to you as well. Ho, ho, ho. And wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, we have lots of boys and girls on today.
Yes, we've got lots. And I just want to say hello to my friends in Mattawa.
Phoenix. That's Phoenix.
Phoenix and
Raven.
Raven. Hello in Mattawa. And I hope everybody there is doing very, very well. Good to talk to you, Phoenix and Raven. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing in all four corners. Okay, guys? You're just going to blend that in so it's like a gray. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, guys.
I'm glad you said that. There we go. That's looking good.
Yes, you're doing very good, Mrs. Claus, with that.
I like that. That really looks nice. It almost looks like a little bit of a snow tunnel.
Kind of, yeah. A little bit, yeah.
I like that idea.
Perfect. So you're just going to work that in. And you'll feel the paint is almost going to start to go dry a little bit. We're just going to go back and forth until that paint starts to dry a bit.
Oh, and good. I'm glad you said that. I wasn't sure what was going on. That's great.
You'll feel it because your brush will start to stick a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. How about a thumbs up from the kids? How's it going with my painters out there?
I think they're doing good. Give us some thumbs up, guys, if you're doing good. Mom, Dad, how is everybody doing? There we go.
Like
so Mrs. Claus, your corners shouldn't really be black anymore. They should be almost just a dark gray.
You're right. That's exactly what they look like, Marley.
Perfect. Just like that. And you can just blend as much as you want. And we're going to come back later and we're going to add some stuff to it as well. So there we go. So that's how it should look. How does yours look, Mrs. Claus?
Looks almost like yours. My gray's a little different, but then again, like you said, everybody's is going to be different. So
yep, everybody's is going to be different. Do you want to show?
Sure, I'll give it to Santa.
I think she's doing really well. Look at this. There it is. There's what Mrs. Claus has done.
Oh, that looks so good, Mrs. Claus. You're doing such a good job.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying this.
She's having quite a good time.
There we go. Do we have anybody, while people are working on blending, do you have anybody else you want to talk to, Santa?
Let's see if we have any other kids' comments. Oh, I see. Looks like we have friends from the USA joining us. As Sophie, I believe she's 4. Let's see what's it say? Okay. And what else do we have? Oh, look, Santa, you know who this is.
Oh, this is Emily. Hello, Emily. Oh, oh, oh. Merry Christmas from Newmarket. Oh, yeah.
And this is the one. Remember, I told you about the cats.
Yeah.
Her cats were always jumping in around her.
Okay, Emily in Newmarket, and yes, and we have Holly. Okay, who loves gymnastics, and she's in the same town as Laura Lee is today, North Bay.
And she's the one that got the new fish. I think it's called a beta fish or something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hello, Holly. Oh, and we have a Sophie and an Isabella right here. Okay, with Laura Lee as well today.
We've got a lot
of people joining. Oh, I love these artistic people, Mrs.
Oh,
Claus.
yes, me too.
Okay, and these girls love to dance and they ski.
They're going to be amazing painters,
amazing.
And we got one more before Laura Lee's ready.
Okay.
Looks like if I'm reading the screen, I think it's Loxley is what it looks like.
Yes, in North Bay.
Oh,
okay.
With brother and sister play. He's the one that likes playing with the brother and sister, but he's my kindness elf.
Okay,
I bet you he does a lot of kindness
I think he's a good one too.
I love it when I get to watch the kids do all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so much fun, yes.
Okay, are we ready for the next step? And just to remind everybody, you can always pause the video if you want, or if for some reason you fall a little bit behind, I'm going to make sure that this video is available to everybody. So I'll send out an email after, okay? Okay, so now.
Oh, hello, Reese. Oh, my goodness. And now we have someone from New Hampshire.
Oh, my goodness.
From New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Wow.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Reese. Merry Christmas. Yes, boy, oh boy, all over the world. People from everywhere.
We are ready for the next step, guys. So we're going to take our blue.
Okay, got our blue.
Okay, and I'm going to use my medium brush. Okay, so I've got my medium brush. And now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of trace out the ornament. And I'll show you really very, very easy, guys. Doesn't need to be perfect, okay? We're just going to use our blue and we're going to follow that circle that you drew. And it doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to come in later and we're going to add some details and you can kind of tweak things a little bit.
Oh, I'm liking that blue, Laura Lee.
Isn't it beautiful?
It does. It looks really nice.
There we go. So we're just going to do a nice kind of blue streak all the way around. Not too much paint, but just enough so you get some really nice color there. Just like a big circle, just like that. Okay? And once you've got your circle, we're going to take a little bit more of our white. We're going to dip that brush. You're not even going to rinse that brush. You're just going to dip it. And I'll move it up close so you can see it. Whoops. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of white on there. And then we're going to kind of do what we did with the black. Remember how we did the white right up to the black? We're going to do a circle in the inside. Just like this.
I really like this one for blending. I'll have to try this on some of my cookies.
Oh, yes. You could do this with icing for sure.
That's what I was thinking. This looks really good.
Speaking of cookies, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, did I forget your cookies,
You forgot
Santa?
my cookies.
I'm so sorry. I just got so excited about painting today that I forgot cookies for Santa.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he needs his snacks. That's for sure.
Oh. Okay, how we doing, Mrs. Claus?
Almost there. Just blending the last little bit in the circle.
Okay.
There we go. I'm caught up.
Okay. So we're going to do one more step, and then I'll let you guys say hello to some people. I have somebody that asked to slow down just a little bit. So I'm just going to finish this step, and then we can chit-chat while everybody catches up. Sound good?
Perfect. I'd love to talk to the kids, and maybe I can get Santa some cookies or something while we do that.
Okay. So you're just going to continue with your white towards the center. You don't want the paint to be too thick because we want this to dry fairly quickly. And you're just going to work in that circle and blend it. Just like this, guys. Does that sound good? We're good so far?
I think so. I think I'm getting it. It kind of looks like yours.
Okay. So I don't know. Do you want to say hello to some people, Santa?
Oh, of course. Oh, I want to say hello to Jackson and Reese. Jackson likes trucks and Reese has Barbie dolls. But they have horses too.
Wow.
There's some horses as well.
That would be fun.
And we want to say hello to Grayson and Danica. Now.
Oh, I know those guys. Those are the ones you got to remind them to pick up their Lego. Because you almost stepped on their Lego that one time.
I almost stepped on their Lego that last time. Yes, I did.
I remember that. They're our builders.
Okay, and we want to say hello to Genevieve. Oh, and she likes arts and crafts. So how are you doing on the painting, Genevieve? I hope you're having a good time here in North Bay and joining us here with painting today. Glad to have you. Merry Christmas. Oh.
Did you say Genevieve, Santa? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that was Genevieve.
Oh, nice.
She's the one I told you wants to be an archaeologist.
Oh, that's so exciting.
A whole different way when she grows up.
That's
And we're saying hello to Vincent and Xavier in Alliston, Ontario.
Oh, wow.
Yes, glad to have them here today with us. Okay.
Wow.
There's some more of those Lego situations.
I think Lego's going to be the big gift this year. You better tell the elves.
Oh,
to
the
make
elves
some
have lots of new Lego we're working on this year. Lots of wonderful new Lego. Yes,
good
for
to
sure.
know.
Oh, and we have.
How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good?
Hello, so. Mia in Oshawa. And Mia is painting with us today, and she loves painting, and she loves baking. So, Mia, I need you to make sure that you make me some of my really, really good cookies. I love my cookies.
Oh, yes. Santa loves cookies.
Perfect. Everybody give me some thumbs up if you guys are caught up.
Thumbs up on the screen, Laura Lee. Santa's doing thumbs up. We're caught up.
Okay. So our next step, guys, we're going to stick with the blue. Okay. I'm just going to clean off my brush a little bit. Okay. I'm not even going to wash it. I'm just cleaning it off a little bit. Oh, I'm just reading a comment here. Sorry.
That's okay.
Loxley is wearing his Santa hat and he dresses up like you for Halloween, he says.
Well, that's a very important part is my hat. My hat, Lockley, is a sign of the season, and I'm so thankful that you're one of my helping elves. So thank you, Loxley, for wearing your hat and spreading Christmas joy.
Oh, my goodness. And Jenny says Merry Christmas. She's enjoying our painting so far.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Glad that you're here and enjoying painting.
Okay, so we're going to go on the next step now. Are we ready?
All set.
Okay, so we're going to use our blue and we're going to use our medium brush. Okay, and now we're going to kind of lay out the ground. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to start about here. And I'm just going to use that blue, just the pure blue, and I'm just going to kind of do a jagged line right across. We don't want it to be straight.
I can do jagged lines. That works.
We just want it to be kind of like that.
We put that on our trucks, are those jagged lines when the elves are painting.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
And the jagged line reminds me of the hills around here. Actually, they're mountains, right, Santa?
Yes, yes, yes.
We actually have a question from Bristol. He would like to know if the North Pole is in the sky.
No, Bristol. No, the North Pole is all covered with ice, but it's a land mass, but it's an ice mass. But it's so cold up here. Today is -30. It's just so cold that I was outside. But no, it's not up in the sky. It's a land mass just north of Canada.
Wow.
As far north as you can of Canada, and it's right at the very top of your globe. But
wow.
It's a landmass all covered with ice all year long.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to do that. So everybody got their line done? Yeah, everybody's got that line done, right?
And Holly has her Santa hat on and her sparkling headband on. So thank you, Holly, for spreading Christmas cheer.
Oh, no.
You know, Laura Lee, we have a lot of little elves with us today that are helping in this pandemic out there spreading Christmas with our Santa hats on and headbands on, Mrs. Cl Isn't that exciting?
I love it when
all these young people helping us make sure that people can understand the importance, of this time of year.
Yep.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay. So we're going to go on the next step now, okay? So I'm just going to use my blue again, and we're going to very gently trace just along the bottom of our circle. We want that blue to be a little bit darker right along the bottom there, just like that. It almost looks like a beard. Looks like Santa's beard.
It looks like
Santa's beard. Oh.
Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of make a jagged line across the bottom as well. Just kind of like that. It doesn't need to be perfect. Doesn't need to look exactly like mine. Just like that.
Well, looks like we have some other comments. Santa's trying to read them. Hold
Well,
on a minute.
Mia wants to know about the reindeer. Well, I talked about Rudolph, and Rudolph's stomach was just a little upset.
Oh, is that what's going on? I bet you he ate your cookie.
Oh my goodness.
I did give a cookie to sometimes
There's where your cookie went,
that's
Santa.
where my cookies are. I didn't. You caught me again, Mrs. Claus.
How about the rest of the reindeer?
Well, Vixen and Nixon and Dixon and
Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. You always get those guys confused.
That's why I have no cookies today. I had to tell you, but they're all doing really well. But they're doing good, and they're getting ready. I
saw them doing the reindeer games, practicing their jumps and their landings so that they can stop without sliding off the roof.
They're doing really well. We were doing some more work with them today.
Good.
And everything is fine up here in the North Pole. That's like I said to everyone earlier. It's a little on the chilly side today. Otherwise, the sun is shining, but it's just it's cold.
Yeah. Well, okay, Laura Lee, I've got looks like a little beard, but I've got it.
Okay, so now you're going to take your smaller brush and we're going to rinse that off really well. We're going to wash that off. We want to get all of that blue off of there. If you have another brush, you can use another brush if you want, but I'm just kind of rinsing that off. And I'm just using my paper towel just to kind of get that blue off there. And now we're going to go back to our white. And I'm going to very carefully make a white circle. And you can watch me do this first, and then you guys can do it, okay? So right about here, I'm going to do just a big white circle. And I'm just going to go right to this line right here, okay? And it's okay if the blue blends in a little bit. We're going to come back later on, and we're going to touch this up, okay? We're just kind of laying out where our snowman is going to go.
So Sophie is asking, about the elves and working and what we do in summertime. And I think that's a really good question, because sometimes, lots of mums and dads get really busy working and doing lots of work, and they forget to take time out. And so our elves, some of our elves like to swim, and some of them like to do the ballet, and some of them are painters, and other of them, they like to go and do some, other things, out hiking, and different things, and get good exercise.
They do all kinds of things.
All kinds of things to keep themselves in shape.
Yeah, well, they have to, because when they get to around Christmas time, they have to be able to visit the kids, and sometimes they have to crawl, and sometimes they have to sneak in to see what the kids are up to. So they need to keep themselves all fit and ready to go.
Yes, they are. They have to do all of those things, and so we really encourage, all of you. And so we encourage you just whatever you need to do to keep yourself, get outside and get some fresh air. Go for a walk, okay, and just enjoy yourself.
Okay, we're ready already.
Are we ready for the next step?
We are. I got my circle.
So we've got our big circle here, and don't worry if the blue is in there, okay? I'll move it up closer so you can see it. So you can see there's blue in mine too, so don't worry about that. We're just kind of planning where it's going to go, okay?
Okay.
And now we're going to do another circle right on top of it with the white. So I've got a little bit of white on my brush, but it's going to be a little bit smaller than this one. So I'm just going to do another circle right there, and it's a little bit smaller.
Well, we were talking about our cookies, and everybody always wants to know, what is Santa's favorite cookie?
Oh,
I'd love to know that.
I always get that question. And I want to keep telling everyone the most important thing about the cookies. I love them all.
Oh, Santa.
But what's most important is that those cookies are made with love.
And
that's so true.
You have a special reason. Why do you like them made with love, Santa? What does that do for you?
Will you tell everybody?
Okay. See, Santa's secret is, if you make your cookies with love, doesn't matter how you make them, whether you make them from scratch or whether you buy them and make them that way. But if you put love in them, then Santa doesn't have any calories. So he can eat all types of them.
Oh.
That's the secret. You have to do it with love.
Now,
There you
I
go.
find secret out about love, and
A little bit.
A little
Kids have to know a little bit. 'Cause, I mean, you eat a lot of cookies in one night, Santa.
oh, I like my cookies. That's very, very true with my hot chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
Ready, Miss Laura Lee?
Are we ready? Everybody give thumbs up if we're caught up. I'm going to look really quickly and see how we're doing. Give me some thumbs up if you're caught up, guys.
Now, Loxley likes to play soccer.
Oh.
I wonder how many of these different kids. Maybe we could have them send in a message. We got a soccer player. I wonder if anybody plays hockey.
Oh, we might
And I
have.
wonder we've got somebody on ballet. We have
Yeah.
some people that ski.
And we've had a few
We
swimmers.
got some swimmers. We haven't anybody talk about whether they play baseball or not.
Nope, that's not one
We have
we've
any
heard.
baseball players. So we have lots of people who like to paint.
There we go. Okay, so how we doing? Are we caught up?
Thumbs up from the North Pole.
Okie dokie. So now we're going to use some green. Now, if you guys out there do not have green, green is very, very easy to make, guys, okay? All you need to do is you need to mix half yellow and half blue. If you take a little bit of yellow and a little bit of blue and mix those up together, they will make green. Got that?
I've got my green ready.
Okay. So now we're going to take our green. We're going to use our small brush. And we don't want too much paint on there. Just a little bit, okay? And we're going to start not in the center of the circle, just a little bit to this side. And we're just going to do a big upside down V, just like that.
Now, someone just asked me about my reindeer and carrots.
Oh,
Now, I just have to tell people that Santa's not really big on eating his veggies. And Mrs. Claus is always getting on me about my carrots and how I need to eat more carrots.
And where did the carrots disappear to, Santa?
To my reindeer.
yo.
Reindeer
Maui,
like
they
carrots.
love my carrots. And I know I should eat more carrots because carrots are good for my eyes.
Yes.
And as you can see, I have my glasses, and but oh my goodness, yes, they are so good. Carrots are good for the reindeer. They love them.
Oh, there we go.
So we got our V, Laura Lee. What's
Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a series of V's going downward. But we're just going to go out just a little bit each time. So just like that.
This is kind of starting to look like a Christmas tree.
It is.
Now I have to plug Mrs. Claus's ears because somebody wants to know whether Santa eats cookies at lunch and for supper. Oh no!
Mrs. Claus knows.
Oh, Mrs. Oh my goodness! All Santa's secrets are coming out today here.
Oh my goodness.
I do love my cookies. Yes, for sure, for sure.
There we go.
Kids, even though Santa likes to have his cookies and that at dinner, he does eat a proper meal most times for breakfast, and he does try to have a good meal at dinner, but the cookies seem to sneak in during the lunch hour. That's when he seems to eat them a lot.
Oh, you're sneaky, Santa.
He sneaks in the kitchen at lunchtime. That's what he does.
Oh. Okay, so once you get down to the bottom of your tree, you've got a bunch of V's, right? Kind of going up and down. And then right at the bottom here, I'm going to move this up so you can see it a little closer. Okay. So right at the bottom, I'm just going to do a couple of lines up into the tree, just like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it's okay if you can see a little bit of the blue through. That's okay. We're just planning where everything goes. Okay.
And the tree goes kind of down beside the frosty, right?
Yep. I'll move it up closer. There you go. So you can see a little closer.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. You see that a little bit closer?
Santa's laughing. We must have another good question.
Oh.
Okay. Now, this is one Mrs. Claus has to answer because it's very important.
Okay.
We have the question, does my elf have to wear a mask when she comes to my house? Now, this is to do with the pandemic that's happening. And I'm going to say it this way. If your elf comes to your house and she has a mask on, then let her wear it for at least 14 days to make sure she's safe.
Okay.
If she doesn't have a mask on, or he, depending on which elf you have, doesn't have a mask on, that means they've already isolated. So
Okay.
now there is a thing, some elves we're sending in, and if you can see my hands, there's a jar we're sending in sometimes, and they come in what's called an isolation jar. They're going to stay in there for 14 days to be safe.
Okay.
Then we can come out and do all kinds of things. And that's what we're doing this year. So each elf, depending on how they are, comes with different things. You just have to see how they show up. Okay? But don't worry if they have a mask on, or if they don't, or if they're in their isolation jar. Everybody's healthy. We're just being extra cautious this year.
Good to know. Good to know. That was a good question.
Yes, and most importantly, we just want all of you boys and girls and mums and dads and everybody out there to be safe, okay? And make sure, okay, as we keep telling people, wash your hands, okay? And we're always making sure that everybody here in the shop is washing their hands.
Oh, especially in my kitchen. Everybody has to wash their hands.
We're making doubly sure about washing our hands and being safe. And when you go out, okay, make sure that you wear your mask, okay, because we want everybody, okay, to make sure that they can still go ahead and have a good time. It's like Santa. Oh, he's having a really good time.
Oh, you are. You're having a good time.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of more steps, okay? And then we're going to take a little bit of a break. Do you have a story that you can read to the kids, Mrs. Kwan?
I did bring a story with me. I'll show you here.
Okay.
It's called, well, since I kind of knew we were doing Frosty, I brought Snowman's Garden today.
Nice. Oh, I'm excited about that.
Special book, and you'll see the secret about it when I open it up to read it later.
Okay.
Well, I think that Santa's going to go and check up on Rudolph and his stomach and just see how he's doing.
Okay, and grab your...
We have one quick question before you go. It's actually a really important question.
Okay, what's the important question?
The question is, do you wash your hands every time you go into a house, Santa?
Oh, Santa, now you better answer this right, because I know what you do.
Absolutely. Santa is so careful. He's always making sure, okay, I have disinfectant, okay, making sure I'm washing my hands, okay, and hot water whenever I can, and soapy water. Sometimes I have to use disinfectant, okay, and then when I'm out on my trial runs with my reindeer and stuff, I have my Lysol wipes. Even
there you go. And you wear your mask too, right?
I always have my mask.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to do one more thing, and then we're going to take a little bit of a break. Does that sound good?
I think so.
Okay, well, I'm going to check on the reindeer, okay? Oh, everybody, I'll be back in just a little bit. I have to go see how my reindeer are doing.
Okay, grab yourself some from the kitchen.
Absolutely, with my hot chocolate.
Okay. So one more thing we're going to do, we're going to use our red now. So I've just washed my red brush. Okay. And then I'm going to get my red paint. I just want a little bit, not too much. Okay. I've just got a little bit. And we're going to plan out where our hat and scarf go.
Oh, fun.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, right along the top of my circle here, and I'm going to move it closer because we're letting this dry a little bit. We're going to come back in and touch up the white, okay? So right at the top there, I'm just going to do a line just across like that. Just across the top. Just like that.
I'm liking how that looks, Lauralee.
Okay, and then right on top of that, I'm going to put a dot about right there.
A dot, okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to come down. So almost like a little half circle on top of that line that we did, just like that.
Cool way to do it.
Just like that.
I'm liking that. That's cool.
Okay. And one more thing at the top. I'm going to do a circle right at the top there. Just like that.
There we go.
Can we see that?
Oh, I see what you mean. That looks really good.
There we go. And then one more thing, and then I'm going to let you tell the story. Sound good?
It does sound good. My painting will be ready by the time I'm all done my story.
And actually, part of the reason why we have time for a story is we're going to let that paint dry a little bit.
That's what I meant. My paint has to dry a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So one more thing, we're going to do the scarf. So I'm going to do a line right across the bottom of that top circle, just like that. See, I just did a little line right across the bottom of them. And then I'm going to do 2 lines. Right at the side here, I'm going to do a line like this, right to the side of the Santa, or side of the snowman. And then I'm going to kind of do one going down almost towards the front, just like that.
So, Laura Lee, I have a question from April, and I'm sure this is a question a lot of the kids are asking.
Okay.
Some of the kids, their elf is still up here at the North Pole with Santa and I.
Oh, okay.
They're asking me what the elves are doing today.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
April, her elf is called Snowflake, and she wants to know what Snowflake's up to.
Oh.
I don't know everything the elves are doing because they work with Santa, but I think Snowflake is on outside helping wash down and polish the sleigh today.
Okay.
Because the elves can get into the little nooks and crannies, and they're getting the sleigh ready so we can get it started to load it, because we've got to start loading in the next few weeks so it's all ready for Christmas Eve.
Well, there you go. Well, the elves have so many jobs, eh?
Oh, they do. They help in the kitchen. They help on the sleigh. They work on the toys.
Wow.
They do all kinds of things for us up here.
Well,
Just like
they usually let mom and dad know what they're working on too, right? So you could always ask mom and dad what the elf is doing.
yes, and when they come back, once the elves have gone to the children to visit with them, when they come back, they tell us what the kids are doing, but they also check in and do and help out a few things before they go back down, before the morning comes. So the elves are always busy.
Oh, my goodness. Loxley wants to know when his elf buddy is coming. He can't wait any longer. Huh? I'm sure he'll be coming as soon as he's done helping Santa.
Yeah, all elves come at different times.
Yeah.
So I never know exactly their schedule. Santa hasn't worked out with them because when an elf leaves to go visit a child, we have to have another elf take over their job. So Santa has a schedule, and that's between Santa and the elves. But I'm sure he'll show up just at the right time. I know it's hard to wait, though. I get excited when all the kids get their elves, and I start hearing what the kids are up to. It really makes me smile.
Wow. Okay, how we doing, Mrs. Claus?
Well, I'm going to turn this around.
Okay, let me see where you are.
What do you think? Whoops, let's get into the camera there.
That looks so good.
I think so. I'm really happy with how the tree looks.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you know what? I dripped a little bit of paint on my canvas. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. I know Santa is out taking care of the reindeer. And I want to tell the boys and girls a little story while they catch up on their painting and let their paint dry.
Yes, I just have to tell the kids, if you hear something in the background, that's Santa in my kitchen. He's running around for cookies.
Oh.
Just so you know.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave you, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Sound good?
Sounds good. I'm going to do a story time with the kids.
Okay, so perfect. We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye, Laura Lee. So, kids, if you want to take a minute before I do the story, you can get yourself a quick drink or a little snack, just like Santa's doing. Remember to use your please and thank yous if you're asking mom or dad to help you with that. And I'm going to get my book ready. So it's called A Look Inside a Snowman's Garden. And the cool thing about my book, if you notice, is there's a part missing right in here. So it makes it look like we have a whole bunch of layers, just like we're doing with our painting today. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bit of a reading. Everybody, if you can give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're ready for the story. we're going to start our story today. Santa, only one cookie. You're not allowed more than one cookie right now. He's bad. He's into the cookie jar. Okay, we're ready to go. So this is called Look Inside Snowman's Garden. Whoops, I'm going to move it over here. I'm still getting used to the camera, so I hope you can see. Bring it up, and we'll move it over there. Okay, so it says, Tom and Jane are helping Dad to clear the snow away. I'm sure some kids are going to be doing that very soon. Oh, I see some thumbs up. Good. It will not take us long, says Tom, and then we can play. So there they are. They're in the garden. Oh, I see you. Jane says, let's make a snowman. See, I thought this book would be really good since we're doing a snowman today. I'll fetch a hat and a scarf. That's what we just did with Laura Lee. That sounds like fun, her brother says as he clears the garden path. Try the next page. Let's see. I'll move it up here to the camera so you can see, and I'll move it over this way. Peekaboo, I see you. They make a super snowman under the old oak tree. The animals in the garden all come up close to see. 3 buttons and a carrot nose. Oh, I wonder if Laura Lee's going to have us do a carrot nose. The top hat fits just right, says Jane. Let's wrap him in the scarf so he'll be warm tonight. And look, if you can see over here, all the animals are peeking to see what the kids are up to. Let's turn the page. Tom and Jane are really pleased. Their snowman looks great from his head to his feet. It's getting late and supper time calls, says Jane. Let's go and eat. Good night, snowman, they both say. We'll see you in the morning. It's Christmas Day tomorrow, and Santa will be calling. Oh, that's going to be a special time. At night, oh, I'm going to move this up so you can see. There we go. At night, when everyone's asleep and snow is falling down, suddenly Snowman comes to life when he hears a magic sound. What do you think he heard? 2 reindeer, see them? Peeked over the garden wall with their sleigh bells ringing. Santa's here, says Snowman, and all the birds start singing. Ho, ho, ho. Sorry, I can't do this good Santa. I'll try again. Ho, 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 cries Santa full of cheer. You really are the best snowman I've seen all year. We'll have a special prize for you that then we'll be on our way. We'd like to deck your garden in time for Christmas Day. Oh, he gets his garden decorated. Can you imagine? Thank you very much, says Snowman. The elves work merrily. Now, you were asking us about elves. See all the elves in the picture, what they're doing? Hanging streamers and Christmas bells around the old oak tree. Their sacks are full of ornaments of every shape and size. When Tom and Jane see this, they will be pleasantly surprised. I'm going to move that up to the camera. There you go. Can you see? What a nice surprise. There's Santa helping. We're finished now, said Santa. Merry Christmas and good cheer. We really must be going. It's a busy time of year. So do that one. We'll move it over. See, I can still peek through. Goodbye, Santa. Goodbye, Elf, says Snowman. Do take care. Then everything was quiet and still as they took to the air. I bet you they're going to be really surprised. On Christmas morning, Tom and Jane came rushing out to see all the splendid decorations hanging on the tree. Look at what the elves did. Oh, they made that beautiful. I wonder who did this, said Tom, smiling with delight. Shh, don't tell them. We know who did it. Let's ask our snowman, whispered Jane. He's been here all night. Oh, I wonder if the snowman's going to tell him. Nope, he's staying quiet. So there we go. That is called A Snowman's Garden. And what I like about it is how you can see all the characters. I'll show you. They all peek through the next page. That's a real fun book.
Ho, 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 ho. Oh,
Hello,
Mrs.
Santa.
Oh, 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 it's still cold out there. Oh, brr. Oh, I'm so cold. I had to come back inside and get my some more hot chocolate and warm up.
So did you like the warm cookies from the oven?
Oh, well, I had a little snack as always.
I heard you rustling around in that kitchen.
Oh, I was trying to be really quiet there and not get caught, but it's cold up here today.
It is. And I was telling Laura Lee the Northern Lights are out today, so it's really pretty.
Oh, it's so beautiful with the Northern Lights. And up here, we are so fortunate to be able to have all those beautiful lights. So there was a lot of questions earlier from a lot of the boys and girls about their elves, and
they're excited.
And
they want to see them.
Yeah, and I know, and we're doing the best we can with the scheduling and trying to get elves to different places, and we have this COVID. Well, I just call it this pandemic thing that's causing lots of problems for people, and so we're trying to work too with that and getting the elves out and to make sure that everybody can have a really good Christmas this year.
And I explained to the kids about how when the elves go down, someone else has to fill in. So we have to do our schedules. And we talked earlier about the masks and the isolation. So elves have to do certain things.
Yes.
But I promise if the elf can be there, he'll be there. But kids, just in case, now Santa, you can say this, just in case elf can't make it this year, know that they're watching you and they may be back next year, okay? But we're trying our best to get most of the elves, if not all of them, out this year.
Yep, get them to everybody. But it's just been a little bit more challenging for us this year. But that's still not a reason why you can't have a Merry Christmas.
That's
to
true.
Everybody.
Now, I think Laura Lee's back. Laura Lee, are you there?
Okay.
Oh, I hear her.
Okay.
There she is.
Why don't you show them your picture? I'll show everybody. I'm so proud of Mrs. Claus.
There you go, Santa.
Oh,
show my picture.
Just look what Mrs. Claus has done, Laura Lee. Oh, my goodness. I mean, isn't that just beautiful what she did?
Wow, you're doing so well.
I tell you, Mrs. Claus is just, she just might get a job in the workshop yet. I don't know.
Oh, no, Santa. I'm going to stay in my kitchen.
Yeah.
But Laura Lee makes it so itchy. So easy. I'm going to make some new ideas on the cookies. I think.
There we go.
Hello, Laura Lee.
So how's everybody's painting? Is it pretty? It should be getting dry. Not quite, but almost.
I think mine's pretty good.
Okay, so we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to work on something else while we're waiting for the rest of the painting to dry a little bit, okay? So we're going to get our yellow. Do you have your yellow?
Oh, I will have. Just got to shake it and get it ready.
Okay. So I've got a little bit of yellow there. And I've got my smaller brush.
Yeah.
Okay.
You and I have a lot of discussions about my sleep and how much sleep I get and how much sleep you get. But I know that Santa needs his sleep, and I like to get at least my 8 hours every night. I try to get my 8 hours.
That's true.
Sometimes I try to get a little bit more, maybe 9 or 10 hours. But, getting one sleep is especially important. And it's hard sometimes, we get all excited, like Santa's mind is all kind of mixed up today.
You get all excited with all the lists in your mind and everything.
Yes,
but I will say this for the kids who ask about Santa. Santa gets 10 to 12 hours sleep a night, except on December 23rd to December 25th. Santa doesn't sleep. He just goes and goes and goes to make sure everyone gets their presents.
Oh, I'm so glad for my magic dust that helps me to do that.
It does. And then on the December 26th, when you guys are celebrating and doing your dinners and everything, it's called Boxing Day, Santa sleeps. How long do you sleep then, Santa?
Oh, I don't even know, Mrs. Claus.
A couple of weeks?
Oh, you put me to bed, and I don't even know how long I've slept. The last time I think I might have slept 3 or 4 days, or was it longer?
I think so.
Oh, my goodness.
Wonderful sleep.
We're ready, Laura Lee.
Ready? Okay, so now we're going to take our yellow with our smaller brush. Okay, and we're going to do a line from the bottom here all the way to the top of that canvas. Not too much paint. You don't want too much paint on it. Just enough to make that yellow line. Okay.
Oh, that looks interesting.
Okay, so now without putting any more paint on your brush, we're going to very carefully make the top part a little bit wider, just like that. And you're just going to use the paint that's already there, and you're just going to make it a little bit wider. If you find you have to add a little bit more yellow, you can. We don't want it to be really, really thick because we want that to dry fast. And we're going to come back in later on and touch it up a little bit. So it should be a little bit wider at the top. Just like that.
Curious to see what this is going to be.
Oh, you watch. I'm telling you. Are we all good there? We're caught up?
I'm all good. Thumbs up at the North Pole.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is right about here. Okay. So say 2 fingers up. Okay. We're going to do a line straight across like that. And it should look like the letter T.
And that's with the yellow still, right?
Yep. We're just using the yellow. And you can spread your paint around if you find you have a little bit extra there. But just like a letter T, big letter T. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did at the top, but really, really short here. So I'm going to do a line that makes the end of it a little bit wider. I know it's a little hard to see on the camera. I'll move that up a little bit.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah. So just like that. So we're basically making a bow, guys. And then same thing on the other side. We're going to start up a little bit and go down towards the center. Just like that. So it'll be like a bow. We're working on our bow.
Now I see what we're making.
There, I'll move that closer. There we go. That's a little bit easier because the yellow's a little bit hard to see with the bright lights I have, right? I have the bright lights on so you guys can see really well.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. How's everybody doing?
I think it looks like a bow.
Now, Mrs. Claus, I was always asking about my beard, but I just want to make sure, okay, did you make my appointment with my barber for Tuesday?
Always make your appointments, but you know what happens. You get in there and she always says to you, not long enough, not long enough. So you have to talk to her about it, Santa.
Oh, my goodness.
I just need to make sure that I'm all ready for Christmas, and it's very close. I didn't know what to do with my barber, so.
I would go talk to her, but I think she'll trim you up and make you look really nice.
Oh, good.
There we go. Okay. So now just rinse off your brush a little bit. How's that brush bath working for you?
I am really, really enjoying this. This is something different.
Isn't it nice? I sent you, I can't remember. Did I send you the orange one?
I'll put it on the screen. Whoops.
Yep, I sent you the orange one.
Okay.
I have the peppermint candy cane one as well. I'm going to send you one of those as well. That one's green. Yeah. And it smells like peppermint.
Oh, that'll be nice. That'll smell like my candy canes up here.
I know, eh? And that's really good for cleaning your brushes. When you're all done painting today, you can clean your brushes. They'll be nice and clean.
Perfect.
Perfect. And just to let you guys know, I'm doing a donation from those as well.
Wow. Thank you very much, Laura Lee.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay. And just to remind everybody, actually, in the description of our video, we have a donation link as well. So anybody who wants to donate, that would be wonderful as well, guys. Okay. So now you should have your black and white still. What I'm going to do, and watch me very carefully, I have my small brush that I've cleaned off, and I'm going to, I'll do it like this so you can see both. So I'm just going to dip my small brush, just the tip of the brush, just in the black, just like a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it into some white. So I'm going to make like a really light gray color. Just like that. So it should be like a really light gray. And you just need a little bit.
Boy, I'm learning all kinds of new things today.
Oh, we're having so much fun. Are we having fun?
We are. I'm learning all kinds of things.
Well, and Willow is having a really good time too. And Willow, I can't wait to see your painting.
Oh, yes. Just
Laura,
to remind everybody, when we're done our paintings today, if you go to my Facebook page, Artistically Mused, and click on reviews, you can post your pictures there for everybody to see. And so Santa and Mrs. Claus can see them too.
Yes, please.
So Willow, would you please post your picture so Mrs. Claus can make sure that I see that? Good job. Mrs. Claus is doing a really good job on hers today.
And everybody else too, please, so we can show Santa.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now that we have our light gray mixed, you're going to put a little bit on your brush, not a lot, okay? And right in the center, right here, we're going to do just like a little line down towards the blue, just a little bit onto the blue, just like that. And I'll move it up closer so you can see it.
Oh, I see.
Well, Mrs. Claus, she's just doing a really mighty fine job.
Oh, she's loving the painting. I can't wait. We're going to be doing more paintings together. I can't wait.
The elves are going to be chasing me out of the workshop.
Oh, well, you can always come down to North Bay and paint with me.
Oh, don't get me started, Laura Lee. I won't. I'll be so busy doing that. I'll forget all about the kitchen, and then poor Santa, I'll starve to death because he won't have any cookies.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So now, right across the top of that little gray line, we're going to make it into the letter T. Just like that. And you want to make sure you don't have too much paint on your brush. You don't want it to be a lot of paint. Just like that. So that's another letter T. Okay.
This is looking really interesting. I'm curious what this is going to be.
Oh, I'm telling you. Okay, now one more thing we're going to do. We're going to make another line like the one we did in the center, but we're going to do one on one side and one on the other side, just like that.
Okay.
It almost looks like the letter M.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Just like that. How we doing?
Looking good, I think.
How's everybody else doing? Give me some thumbs up. Everybody seems to be telling me that they're having fun. I hope you guys are having fun.
Oh, we're having a great time, Laura Lee.
Oh, I know Rachel, they're having fun. Willow's having a great time.
Wonderful. Okay, so now that brush, we're going to rinse that brush off and clean it really, really well.
Got to make sure I don't dip it into Santa's hot chocolate here.
Oh, I do that all the time. I have to put my brush water and my drink water on two separate sides.
Yes, that's what I did. I moved Santa's cup because when he came back inside, I was afraid I was going to dip into his cup.
Oh, my goodness.
It tastes good.
Okay. So once you get your brush clean, make sure it's really, really clean.
Got it all nice and clean.
Okay. So now we're just going to use our white.
We're getting some thumbs up, Laura Lee. Looks like we're having fun.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, just to remind everybody, there's a little bit of a time delay because we're broadcasting. We have them on the phone call from the North Pole, right? So it's causing a little bit of a delay.
Yes. We're a little bit behind you.
Okay.
Oh, somebody moved their coffee. I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, and Sophie wants to know how the reindeer are doing.
Oh, Santa, there's a question for you. How's our reindeer doing?
Oh, they're doing very well. I went out and Rudolph is
Good.
recovering. I gave
no more cookies.
No more cookies. But I did give him, as my friend said, I gave him a few carrots.
They'll like that.
Oh, they like their carrots. Had a few little apples, okay, from the apple trees, and I gave them a few little apples we had for them, and
all the other reindeer are good.
They're all doing fine. All the reindeer are doing really, really good. Yep. I told them all that you were painting today, and they don't. They just.
That's why they had their noses pressed up against the window. They've been trying to sneak a peek.
They've been trying to sneak in.
There we go. Before we go to the next step, do we have anybody else that you need to say hello to?
Let me see if I can read here. Just a moment. We've got, let's see, I think we've said hi to Sophie.
Yeah.
Lisa was the one with the coffee. I had to laugh at that one. Rachel says they're just catching up, so we wait for them a little bit.
Okay.
April's having fun. Let's see who else we've got on here. Willow's having a good time. That's great to hear. Oh, what's that one? I have a candy cane 1 cup. Oh, people have all kinds of things that they're doing.
Wow.
And some people like the glitter on the tree.
Nice.
Most people are caught up with us. I think we're pretty good.
Okay, perfect. I hear that we have people watching from all over.
Oh, we do.
Mhm.
There were people from there's a town called Mattawa and Lindsay, and then
That's in
we
Canada.
had Fort McMurray, Alberta.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had somebody from New Hampshire today,
Yeah. We had someone down.
down in Lindsay,
Oh, we had.
Massachusetts.
Now let's see if I
okay.
can say that right. Dedham?
Yeah, in Massachusetts, yeah.
Oh.
Newmarket, okay,
Yeah.
today as well.
Just check
Wow.
this here because Santa wrote it all down. Oh, now let's see if I can say this one. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a hard one. Ossipee. Santa, do you know what that one is? Oshapee?
New Hampshire.
Oh, boy, how do you keep all these towns straight?
It's just because Santa's out there and we've got somebody from
Oh,
go-
Quebec.
Quebec, yeah.
Wow.
We do, and
And Alice-
Alliston.
And one more, Oshawa.
Yep.
Wow, we've got everybody
We have
from
people
everywhere.
from all-
These are
lots of-
places you see all the time.
All the time.
We
Yes.
don't we have Bristol from Lynn, Ontario too?
We
Yes.
just pulled that one up. I was just scrolling. The things are
Wow.
fast. I have to back up and catch up.
Ah.
Kids
Okay,
are
so ready to go? Are we ready to go, guys?
Oh, wait a minute. We've got one more question.
Okay.
We would like to know if Santa is friends with Jack Frost. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes Jack can misbehave. So what happens if Jack misbehaves, Santa? Are you still his friend?
Well, it's so cold, and because it's cold here just about all of the time, and then Jack Frost gets into starting making problems for me,
I know.
and he likes to frost up my windshield, well,
Mhm.
or the glass on the houses,
Yes.
so that it makes it really hard for us to be able to see outside.
Right.
And then the biggest problem I have with Jack is what he does to the windshield on my sleigh.
I know. But what happens every time? What do?
I give him a cookie.
You give him a cookie,
I give
and
him
you
a
guys
cookie.
make up.
We
So
do make
yes,
up.
Santa and Jack do get along. Jack likes to play jokes, but we do love him. Yes, we do.
And
Okay.
love wins always, especially when you make a cookie.
Exactly.
Always
Lori.
give a cookie to somebody who's causing you problems. That's what I say.
We're ready, Lori Lee.
Are you ready? Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay, so make sure that your small brush is cleaned off really, really well, because we're going to be doing the white again.
Oh, I have a message here about a big sister.
Oh,
So, we're talking to Lockley. Let me see if I can read what it says here, Santa. Something. Let me scroll. Oh, here's one for you. Did his big sister make the nice list? And look she's the best big sister ever. Oh, well, you can answer that one.
Luckily, you know what? You've got a really good big sister. So she doesn't have to worry. But, I was talking to somebody here earlier today, okay, and he was telling me, okay, his name was Jason. I don't know if maybe this somebody, okay, knows a Jason out there, but he was telling me that he didn't really have that good of a boy this past week. And so we had a little bit of a talk before.
You talked to Jason and made sure he
I had a
got
little
on the
talk
nice
with-
list?
Well, I got him to talk to him.
Good.
So he was going to go have supper with his brother tonight and go see some other people and
Nice.
try to do some good. And that's what I tell people. The
Yeah.
best way you can always make things up with people is give them a cookie.
Right.
A cookie
Okay.
with love will make everything okay.
I think we're ready.
okay.
Up again.
Now we've got our white. Okay. And we are going to add a little bit white in now. Now this part here should be almost dry now. So you can go in and you can touch up your white on your snowman. Make that a little bit more white. And it's okay if a little bit of the blue is showing through, because blue makes a really, really good shadow on snow. We're just going to make that snowman a little whiter.
Oh boy, we got a good question, Laura Lee.
Oh, do we?
So we have a question. Does Santa have any pets?
Well, I would say it's reindeer, no?
I was going to say Santa's favorite pets are the reindeer.
Well, there you go.
And my favorite, and I have to be so careful, of course, is Rudolph, because Rudolph has helped me. You know, Jack plays lots of tricks on me. And some nights, okay, it gets really dark.
Oh.
Okay, and really black out there. And whew, I sure am glad I've got Rudolph, and that big nose of his, so red, kind of shows me where to go and how to get there.
Yeah, so Santa's pets are the reindeer. Those are his babies. That's why he gives them sometimes things he shouldn't, because he likes to spoil them.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to use our smaller brush. You don't want too much white paint on there, okay? Just a little bit. And we're going to put some snow on our tree. So we're just going to kind of dab a little bit, kind of all over. I'll move this up closer so you can see it. Okay, I'm just dabbing a little bit of snow, and I'm just dabbing it.
Oh, that looks really pretty.
Oh, that looks like the North Pole.
It does.
It does.
Outside.
You don't want to put too much, right? You just want a little bit. You don't want it too wet. Just like that. Doesn't that look great?
It does.
That
Oh,
looks
and
so much like our
wait till you
Christmas
see
tree.
Mrs. Claus's. Oh my!
Like that.
Really well today.
Okay. I'll give everybody a couple seconds to do that.
This is looking really good, Laura Lee. I'm liking this one.
Are ya? Okay, now here comes a little bit of a tricky part, but I promise I'm going to walk you through it, okay?
Okay, I'm paying attention.
Okay, so starting at the edge right here, I'm going to do, now make sure you don't go on your scarf if your scarf is there. We're just going to dab a little bit of white all the way down. And we're going to kind of do it in a little bit of a jagged line. And I'm just dabbing. See how I'm just dabbing? Right across to the edge here.
Okay, let's see if I can do as good as you just did.
It doesn't need to be perfect. Just like that.
Okay.
Now the one of those crooked lines there, Laura Lee.
Oh yeah, I love the crooked lines. They're easy to do.
Yes, they are.
Once you get that line, you're going to make sure you have some white on your brush, not a lot. And then we're just going to kind of go all along that blue line that we made. Just like that.
How's your hot chocolate there, Santa?
Oh, I'm just getting nice and warm. I was gonna show Laura Lee that I got some new suspenders.
Oh, you
Wow.
Some new suspenders here just recently, and I'm so proud of them.
Those are great. Oh, we have somebody in Toronto too. I forgot about that.
Who's in Toronto?
Sarah says
Sarah posted.
watching from Toronto.
Oh, hello, Sarah.
Glad to have
Merry
you with
Christmas.
us.
Glad that you could join us.
So glad
Welcome,
to have
Sarah.
you with us.
Here we go. And then you're just going to kind of fill in a little bit. Just like that. So what we're doing, essentially, we're making a little bit of snow across the bottom of there.
Okay, now I see what you want us to do. Now I get it.
And you can go up a little bit. See here, I'm going up a little bit. Just kind of towards that tree to kind of make it look like a snowbank.
Do you guys have snowbanks in the North Bay right now? Because we have them in the North Pole.
Well, not yet, but I think it's coming.
We'll try to send you some if you would like us to.
Oh, no. I must admit, Santa, I am a summer person, but you know what? The one thing that makes me love the snow in the winter is that Santa comes soon.
Yes,
Merry Christmas.
I know a lot of people who want snow just for Santa, and then it can melt.
Yep.
Heard that a lot.
I'm okay with that.
I think there's a few other people that are with you on that one.
Okay, so how we doing? Doing good?
I think Santa's getting tired.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're getting there. We're on the home stretch.
I think it's those cookies he got into.
Okay.
I think he had a few more than just one.
Oh. Now you can bring a little bit of snow right up to the bottom of that tree.
Okay.
Just like that, guys. And we're just dabbing, right? We don't want it to be lots of paint. We're just dabbing. Just like that. And you can come back. If you find you're starting to get a little bit of blue in your white, you can let that dry and you can come back and touch that up when you're done your painting.
I was just going to ask you about that because that's just what happened.
Yeah, that's okay. All it's going to do is going to make it look a little bit more like a shadow. And you can see, even in mine, you can see a little bit of the blue through. See, Mrs. Claus?
Yeah. Yes, very much. That's what mine looks like. It looks like a little bit of a shadow.
Yep, and that's okay.
Oh, Santa, we have another question.
Oh,
so Jerry and her mom would like snow in North Bay.
I think it's Jenny, not Jerry.
Oh, Jenny. Oh, my eyes again. Having difficulties reading. Oh, did you make me an appointment for me to go see my eye doctor?
I did, Santa.
Okay, well, I'm really having problems.
So did you answer any question?
She wants snow here in North Bay. I hear it may be coming.
So if we send snow down, we have to avoid Laura Lee's house but give it to Jenny's.
Yeah.
And her mom likes snow.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe they like to do things outside in the snow.
Maybe there are people that goes out in the winter and does all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to do one more thing with our white, and then we're going to change colors.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm not putting too much paint on my brush, just a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to put a little bit of white just on my bow, just a little bit, just like that.
Oh, I see. Nice.
Okay, and then right along the ribbon, I'm going to do one kind of little stripe, just kind of going up. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Just like that.
Oh, I see. Just makes it stand out a little bit.
Yep, exactly.
You're doing very good, Mrs. Claus.
This is
one more thing on our little M here. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to move it up to the camera so you can see it, because it's a little hard to see with the gray. I'm just going to do a little bit of white along that gray, and I'll move it up so you can see it. See, I just put a little bit of white on that gray.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we have one of our painters, Lisa. She's a friend of yours because she likes summer. She calls herself a summer girl.
Oh, my goodness.
And this summer girl, she likes summer, but she does like Christmas, and she does like a little bit of snow for Christmas. So I sure hope that you get a little bit of snow there in North Bay for Christmas.
Oh. Okay. So how we doing? We good? We caught up? Is everybody caught up? Give me some thumbs up, guys, if you're caught up.
Thumbs up from this one.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to do one more thing with our white. And then we're going to switch colors. Sound good? We're on the home stretch. Okay. I'm putting a little bit of white on my brush. Just a little bit. Okay. And right along the edge of that blue, I'm going to do just a white line. It doesn't need to be thick. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I don't want to go right up to the edge of the blue. I want to leave some blue on the edge. Just like that.
There we go.
Okay. And then if you want, you can do a couple more, just a little bit, just a hint of white. Just a little bit.
Those look like snow clouds.
They kind of do, but you know what this is doing, Santa? This is the first step in making that ornament look three-dimensional.
Ah.
If you're following the circle shape like that, and I'll move it up closer, see how that makes it look a little bit more three-dimensional?
It does. Very good. Boy, Laura Lee, you're an excellent teacher.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Santa. Okay, so you can rinse that brush out when you're caught there, when you're done there. And then we're going to go to the smallest brush we have. Okay.
While you're doing that, Laura Lee, I'm going to show you.
Okay, let me see.
There you go, Santa. Can you hold that up for me?
You got to go closer. Oh my goodness, you're doing such a wonderful job. Such a wonderful job.
I think it's coming together.
It is. Okay. Now, I noticed on your tree there, Mrs. Claus.
Sorry?
I noticed on your tree, I'm going to give you a little tip before we move to the next step. Do you still have your green?
I do.
Okay. Is that blue on your tree dry?
The blue strip through it? Yes, it is.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of green.
Yes.
And you know what we did with that white? How we dabbed a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to do the same thing with the green.
Okay. We'll try it and see if we can cover it up like yours.
Yeah. And just dab it a little bit, just like that. And you can always come back later and add a little bit more too. Sometimes what happens is if you put a little bit too much paint, it might take longer to dry. But once your painting is dry, you can come back in and you can watch the video. You can put the video right to that part and you can touch it up.
Okay.
See, I just touched up my green a little bit.
Yeah, I touched it up a little bit and then I'm going to let it dry and I may have to go back in and just see how it comes.
And that's okay. Okay, so do you have your small brush?
I do. I'm all set.
Okay, so everybody can see there, I have my small brush. And now I have my black. Now, you can either use a small brush or if you want, you can use a Sharpie. Okay, I'm going to use a brush just to show everybody, okay? So I'm putting a little bit of black paint on my brush, just a little bit, not a lot. I don't want it to be like really, really gobby. Is gobby a word, Santa?
That's an interesting word.
That's an icing sugar word. That's what the icing gets gobby on the gingerbread houses.
Oh, there you go.
And gobby double chocolate chip. Oh.
Okay, so now we're going to start at the top of our painting here. Okay. And we're going to do a line all the way up the edge of that ribbon, just like that. And it doesn't need to be real. I want it to be fairly thin. And we're going to do another line on the other side, all the way up like that. How we doing?
She's doing really good, Laura Lee.
Oh, I heard she's getting really good. She's been practicing. I've been sending her lessons, and I heard in her spare time she's been going to artisticallymuse.com because she has a membership now. So she goes on and does paintings whenever she can.
You've been spying on me. I didn't know you knew I was on there.
Oh, I know you're on there. I could taught me a trick or two.
I couldn't stay away after I did that last painting. It was so much fun. So I take a break in the afternoon and I sneak on and see what you've been up to.
Oh, there you go. Anybody can do that too. You can get a membership on my website. And like you said, you can go in and you can do paintings whenever you want.
And what I like is I can go back on the videos like you just said. Yeah. And if I have to fix something up, I can go back and see how you did it. That's so helpful.
And if you want to do another painting for somebody else, you can do that too. You can start all over again.
Yes, I never thought about that. I'm going to be so busy. It's going to be so much fun after Christmas when I have a bit of time.
Oh, that's going to be great. Okay, now, right in the center, right here, we're going to use that black and do a line, make a great big circle. Just like that. We got it?
Got it.
Okay, now this is a little tricky. So just watch me first and you'll understand, okay? So I'm going to, right from the edge there, I'm going to go along the top part of that yellow, but I'm going to stop right there. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it. I'm going to make almost like, it almost looks like an eye or a little oval. Just like that.
Okay, I'm going to try.
I'll move it up so you can see closer.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. You've got a question there for you, Santa.
Oh, what? Oh, let me see.
Oh,
Why is Santa not painting?
Everybody wants to know why Santa isn't painting. Well, the truth of the matter is Santa is so busy right now in the workshop. And I have so many things to do. And every time I want to try to do some painting and things like that, the elves just won't let me get in there.
Oh,
Well, that's because they don't want you to do what I'm doing, which is busy painting and not doing your job.
Yes, and right now, this time of year has been, but I'll tell you, Laura Lee has been after me to try to teach me how to do some painting. So maybe after Christmas.
Maybe we could do another visit after Christmas. We'll see.
oh, in the new year, new year, you promised you'd paint with me a little bit.
Well, we might try that.
There you go.
I have to wait till Santa wakes up from his nap.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, we're ready, Lori, on this end.
I can't see you, Santa.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. Are you sleeping on the job?
He's sneaking over there.
Okay. So then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to make that like a little loop on the other side. Just like that.
Can you see him now, Laura Lee? We should.
Oh, yes. I can see you much better now, Santa.
There we go.
There we go. And then I'm going to go down the edge of the bow like that. And then I'm going to connect the bottom right back up to the circle, just like that. See how that makes that look like a big bow sticking out?
It does. It brings it all together and it makes that yellow pop.
And it makes it look three-dimensional too, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Yep. And then you can do a line at the bottom. If you have a little bit of a yellow on the bottom, you can do that. And then we're going to trace our M. So that M on the top, we're just going to trace that. Just to make it stand out a little bit. And have you figured out what that is now, Mrs. Claus?
I'm thinking it's the top of a Christmas ball that you would hang on a tree.
It is.
I think I know what this is going to look like when we're all done now.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. So see how I've just traced that? Oh, are we? Oh, okay. I thought we were stuck for a second there. Sometimes
we're trying to read our screen because we're getting some comments in from the kids.
Oh, okay.
Taking a minute to read, so just give him a second. He's going to answer some questions or some.
So
comments.
Lisa, she's made Rudolph for her boss's birthday, and then she's going to concentrate on her Spanish, on her schoolwork. Okay, so. Boy, Lisa, you're very, very busy and that's quite the job that you're doing, making painting and schoolwork. Boy, you just keep yourself busy. Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay.
Very talented young lady.
So now we're on the home stretch here, guys. Okay.
Ho, 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 ho.
Okay, Mrs. Claus, do you want to show me your painting?
What was that, Miss Orly?
Do you want to show me how you are so far?
I'll show you. I was
can
just
gladly
touching.
show you.
I was just touching up the bottom of the tree,
Okay.
like suggested, Santa.
Oh, we're a little bit more. Oh, see, look it. See how that perfect. Look at that.
Yep, that hid that blue really well.
There you go. Okay, so now we're going to be really tricky here, okay? So we're going to use our black, okay? And we're going to very carefully just trace around the outside of our blue circle. Make sure that you can still see the blue. And doing this, it gives you a chance to kind of make your circle, when you've been painting, if it kind of went a little wonky, you can kind of straighten that out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes when you're doing that blue all the way around, you might go outside that line that we drew originally.
Yes, I did. This will cover it up.
Yep, and it'll just help straighten it out a little bit.
There we go.
Ho, 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 Mrs. Claus. These are some very, very good questions. So this is one of my favorite questions. What languages do I speak? Well, I have to speak every language. And the question is, how does Santa do that?
What?
Well, I can't. Are
you ready to reveal a little bit of a secret?
I just want to talk about my magic dust.
Okay.
Okay, and how my magic dust allows me when I use that, okay, it helps me with all the different languages that I use to have to speak with. And just recently, we had some friends from Brazil came and visited us up here in the North Pole, and they spoke Portuguese. And we had some people from Papua New Guinea. Baile toca o same, que eles explicaram toca o same in the Portuguese.
Yeah.
So she can speak lots of. Oh my gosh! Oh my God! Big ball.
Now, Santa, can you say how you would say Merry Christmas in Papua New Guinea? Is there some way to say it?
It's the same all over the world.
See?
Merry Christmas.
There you go.
There you
And
go.
that's the most important thing to remember, okay, that no matter what our language is,
Right.
okay, we want to make sure that we spread love. Ho, ho, ho!
Santa, somebody wants to know if you know Elsa.
Oh, Santa, do you know who Elsa is?
I do.
Elsa's almost like Jack Frost, but she's not on the naughty list. She loves to help us. She does our icicles on the house. So I have all these beautiful icicles that Elsa does. Oh, we know who she is. Yes.
And Elsa makes some beautiful, beautiful work. The difference with Elsa and Jack is just always causing problems, but Elsa loves to decorate with her.
Yes, very much.
It's
Wow.
so cool with her
And
work.
I guess all the elves know all the languages too, right, Santa?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me about Snowflake, and somebody else was telling me about their Oscar, and somebody else told me about their Ben, and then there was Lisa. All kinds of elves I have out there in the workshop, and doing all kinds of things and visiting all kinds of people.
There we go.
We make sure that all the elves that go back down to see the kids, that they can speak the language that the child speaks, so that they all understand what they're saying. And then they come back to us and they talk Elvish to Santa and tell him what everybody's up to. So Santa even talks Elvish.
Wow.
He might be able to communicate with the elves.
Wow. So, I have a question here. Sophie wants to know how her elf is doing.
Well, as I said earlier, all the elves are doing well. Now they're busy right now. They're getting ready to helping Santa do different things, but everybody up here is doing well so far.
There you go. Okay, so we're going to move on a little bit. We got a couple things to do. We're getting short on time here, so
Sophie, we just just want to assure you there in Lindsay, everything is fine up here in the North Pole. Okay.
Perfect.
I know sometimes places where we live, there are difficulties and challenges, and mom and dad, I know, are certainly trying to make you safe there and doing the very, very best that they can. And everything's going to be okay, but you don't need to worry about your elf up here. Everything's just going to be fine. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so a couple more things. And watch what's going to happen here is you're going to see things start to come together, Mrs. Claus.
Okay, I'm getting this.
Okay, so on our bow at the top, we're going to start at the top of our circle, and we're just going to do a line about halfway up, just like that.
And we're still working with the black, right?
Yep, we're still using the black.
Okay.
And you're going to do a little line on either side of that, but a little bit shorter. Just like that.
So Haley from Alberta in Edmonton is asking about Olaf.
I knew somebody was going to ask about that crazy little snowman. As soon as I heard about Elsa, everybody knows about Olaf.
Oh, yes, for sure.
So Olaf is for those kids who don't know, and I'll be surprised if there's a child that doesn't, Olaf is a snowman that Elsa made. And he has a really good sense of humor, but his problem is every time he gets into things, he falls apart. So we have to be very careful because the elves like to make snowmen up here, and sometimes they grab a part of Olaf, and we have to give it back and put them back together.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yes. But he visits us all the time.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so now. Couple more things.
As an Olaf mask that she's wearing. And Lisa, I am so proud of you for wearing a mask, okay? There's lots of people, okay, who don't want to wear a mask, okay? And it's really, really important, okay, that you wash your hands, okay? Always wash your hands, whether you use soap and water, whether you're using hand sanitizer, okay? But always make sure, okay, that when you're going out, okay, in places, that you're wearing your mask. I'm so proud of you, Lisa, for doing that. And Olaf mask. Isn't that cute?
That is. Okay.
I filled in just that little area at the top. Remember that area we did at the top of the bow there? I just filled that in.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm just going to put a couple of lines coming from the outside of the bow going in. Just like that. And then you can put a couple in the circle too if you want.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then I'm putting a couple just down on that M. Just like that. I just put a couple little lines there. Now we're going to go in, and if you want, you can pause the video, or you can come back and finish the rest of it. You can kind of watch what else I'm doing, and you can come back and watch the rest of it and finish it yourself if you want, because we are getting short on time, and I know Santa needs to get back to work. So I'm going to very carefully trace around the top of my hat like this. Just like that. And you can use a Sharpie marker if you want.
That might be easier for kids with little fingers.
Yes, yes, for sure. And then I'm tracing around the top part of his hat, just like that. And here's a little trick to make that little pom-pom on the top look a little bit more realistic. I'll move this up so you can see closer what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do little lines, and I'm going to go halfway from inside the red to outside, just like that.
Oh, that looks clever.
Just like that. And it makes it look a little bit more like a pom-pom, see?
Oh, very nice. Very good. Oh,
That,
like that.
I like that.
Karen says that Isabella's favorite Christmas song is Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh. Well, Santa's going to be coming to town very shortly. We're getting all ready. And yes, you can count on that for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
And if
Okay.
Santa.
So, now, along the bottom here, Mrs. Claus,
Yes.
we're going to use our black. And I'm just going to kind of do a line across, up across the snowman a little bit. And just kind of like this. Doesn't need to be a solid line. It's more just to show where the snow is. Just like that.
See if like
that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Another one of those crooked lines.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, very good, Mrs. Claus.
There we go. And then I'm going to very carefully trace around the outside of my circle for my snowman. Like that. And then I'm going to trace the side of the scarf.
Now he's starting to come to life.
Oh, he is. This is the home stretch. I'm tracing around my scarf like that. And do you remember that little trick I used for the pom-pom? I'm going to use that little trick on the end of my scarf too, and I'm going to move it up closer so you can see.
Oh, so it'll look like a little bit of fringe.
Yep. So I'm just going to do a couple little pieces sticking out, just like that.
Yes, you're right, Alice. I'll be there in 25 days.
Oh, look at that, eh?
Absolutely.
People are counting
Somebody's
down.
counting down. Yes. And it's putting we're getting a lot of lots of things going on in the workshop. Lots of the elves busy. And yep, lots of new toys this year. Lots of new things coming out.
There we go. Santa Bristol wants to know what Santa's favorite Christmas song is.
Oh, Santa, you're going to have to tell them. I have a hint. What sound do the reindeer make when they're harnessed up?
I know what that is.
What
Don't
do
say
you-
anything. Don't say anything. I know. Hold on 1 second. I can help with that.
Okay, Laura Lee.
Hold on.
Let's see if she's right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Right, Jingle Bells. Good guess.
Yes, you guessed it right, Laura Lee.
Yay!
Yes.
Santa loves that sound, especially when he's in the sleigh. So
Oh,
that's
I
his
know.
favorite song is Jingle Bells.
Okay, how we doing, guys? Couple more things to do, and then we're gonna put the black away. So I'm gonna do 2 eyes on my snowman. And then I'm gonna do a line of dots all the way across the bottom, just like that.
I got to do my eyes, and then I got to catch up and do the outline. Oh,
You're good. Forget
that's okay. I'll go back on the video and catch up. Santa says I'm behind on the outline, but I told him I'll go back and catch up. So
Oh yeah, you can do that anytime. And you can, once we're done the video, you can always watch the video over and go find where you left off too. Because I know you guys need to get to work soon. Santa needs to get back to the elves and to the workshop. So we're going to keep going. And if anybody wants, they can pause it and finish it, or they can just watch the rest and come back and finish.
I think I'm going to have enough time to get caught up. We'll see how it goes here.
Okay. So now at the top of my tree, you can do this if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just going to draw a little star. And again, you can use a Sharpie if you want. If you want to draw it with a marker, you can. You can see I just kind of drew a little star there. Just like that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but you can.
I think I'm getting caught up.
Okay. Now, one more thing we're going to do with the black, and then we're going to move to a couple other colors, then we're almost done. Okay. So now I'm just going to do my little arms on my snowman. I'm going to do a little stick kind of coming out the one side like that. And I'm just going to put a couple little pieces on it, and I'll move it closer so you can see. See, I just put one little hand. And I'm going to do the other little hand on the other side. And it's going to go right up over our tree. That's okay.
There we go. He's starting to look really good.
There we go. And then right across the bottom of our circle here, I'm just going to do a couple of little lines, just like this. Doesn't need to be exactly how mine is. We're just doing a couple of lines just across the bottom. And what is that doing, Santa? What's that making it look like?
What's that look like to you, Santa?
Is that making it look a little bit more three-dimensional?
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking it just made the snow just pop and made everything like, but you're right. I can now see the three-dimensional.
There you go.
Here we go. Yes.
And now with your black, one more thing. I'm just going to do a couple of little lines. And again, same as we did with the white. I want to do them on an angle, kind of same as the outside. Just like that.
There we go. That's looking
There we go. Good. And now we're going to put that black away for now. We're pretty much done with the black. I'm going to show you a couple things at the end of the painting that you can do to kind of touch it up. But we're going to do one more thing is I'm taking my small brush and I'm taking a little bit of yellow. And if you've done this part, this is what you can do. I'm putting a little bit on my brush, not too much. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to dab the yellow into that star.
That really makes it pop.
Oh, yes, for sure. Just like that. And while I have my yellow, oh, where'd my small brush go? I'm going to use my small brush while we still have our yellow. And I'm going to put some lights on the tree. So I'm just going to, using my little brush, my yellow brush, I'm just going to put some polka dots. Just kind of all over the tree.
Oh, I see what you're up to.
Just like that. Just like little polka dots. And we're basically, what we're doing is we're putting lights on the tree. You can do as many as you want or as little as you want. Just like that.
Did you know, Laura Lee, that we have a whole bunch of Christmas trees all over North Pole Land?
Oh my goodness, I can imagine. You probably have so many.
We light them up and they're lit up all year outside the Senna's village.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Now you still have some red, Mrs. Claus?
I do.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did with the yellow with the red. I'm going to go in. Whoops.
Give them a little bit of red and yellow lights.
Yep, make sure you don't have too much on your brush though.
Okay.
I'm just going to go in and I'm going to dab some little red dots. Just like that. We're just adding some red lights. Doesn't that look amazing?
It does. It looks a lot like my Christmas tree.
And then if you want, you can use your red. If you find your red isn't quite bright enough, you can add a little bit more to the scarf. Because when we did the red originally, we still had the blue there, right? So it wasn't very bright. So you can do that and you can touch up. And then I'm going to teach you a little secret. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm going to use my brush. I still have some red paint on there, right? Can you see that?
I see that.
Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my yellow, and I'm going to, with the red paint, I'm going to mix that into the yellow a little bit. And do you remember your colors? Do you remember what yellow and red makes, Mrs. Claus?
I think it makes an orange.
It does. Yay. So we're going to use that orange, and guess what we're going to do? I talked about it earlier.
Oh, I can't remember. You'll have to help me.
And make it.
We're going to give him a little carrot nose.
Oh, I should have known. We were talking about carrots earlier.
Yeah. And you'll see, I'll move that up closer. Yeah, I gave him a little carrot nose. Doesn't that look cute?
It does.
It does, eh? And then I'm going to take a little bit of that yellow and watch this. You're going to love this so much. I'm going to put a little bit of yellow on my brush, and I'm going to kind of brush on the side of my palette just so that brush is nice and smooth. And then I'm going to very gently put some stripes on my scarf. Just like that.
Oh, that looks really cute.
Just a little dab, and it makes it pop out. And you can put it on the brim of his hat too if you want.
Oh, that just changes his look.
Doesn't that look great? Doesn't that look amazing?
It does. Looks very, very good.
And one more thing to do. Are we ready? I don't know. Do we have any more shout outs to do, Santa?
We're trying to see if there's any more questions from the kids.
I don't see any.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
We wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes.
We've had so much fun with Artistically Mused and Laura Lee and North Bay. And this has been quite the fun, hasn't it, Mrs. Claus?
Oh, this is a lot of fun, Santa. I'm going to enjoy this when we have time to relax. I can sit up at the North Pole and I can paint.
Well, yes.
Oh, there you go. And don't forget, I'm going to send you one of these peppermint brush baths too, and that'll help you keep your brushes all clean.
Oh, yes. I'm excited about that.
Okay. And one more thing. So we're going to clean off our small brush, and we're going to use the white now. Everything else should pretty much be dry. So now we're just going to finish it up. The final touch. I'm going to go in. I'm going to touch up the snowman a little bit, make him a little bit brighter. And if your paint is still wet, you can come back and do this later on once everything's dry. So on the bottom, I'm just touching him up. The snow, I'm just going to touch that up a little bit. And like I said, you can come back and touch that up later if you want.
So, Laura Lee, I know we're just about out of time, but I really want to thank all the moms and dads that have taken time out today to be with us. And I'd like to ask them all a very special favor. We have a link on the Santa Fund. If they would help out with the Santa Fund and with all the boys and girls that don't have maybe a dad or mom or aren't going to maybe have some of the things. And the Santa Fund is a way to make sure that all of those boys and girls are able to get something. And I want to thank them in advance for helping out. And you also, Laura Lee, Artistically Mused, for all the good work that you do with the Santa Fund.
Thank you so much, Santa. I appreciate that. I just want to help all the families out there have a wonderful Christmas. I know there's a lot of people, especially this year. Things are a little bit tougher this year, and we want to make sure that everybody has a wonderful Christmas. Everybody has food on the table. Everybody has presents and treats and is able to spend time with family too, right? So
absolutely, so very important. And I just want to really make sure that I want to thank the parents for all the, I know there's a lot of extra work that goes involved, especially with their children around, teaching them about washing their hands. And one of the things Santa's always going to be talking about is reminding people, okay, the importance of hand washing and sanitizers and doing all those things. And then when they're out in public, wearing their mask and really appreciate all of the extra work that mom and dad have to do this year.
And it keeps everybody so safe. We're so grateful for that.
Well, I know, Mrs. Clark, you're all about safety. You're so concerned for the boys and girls this year. I know you're concerned about our elves, and you've worked very, very hard to make sure that all of them are safe.
Yes, and that is something we've always done because we make things in the kitchen. I always teach the elves to be extra clean because they're handling food. So now they're able to teach the kids and the moms and dads, and that's just great.
That's wonderful. And again, all I'm doing is I'm just going and touching up some white here. And then one last thing we'll do, and then we'll get ready to say goodbye soon. Sounds good?
Sounds good. I'm doing the same thing.
Well,
I'm just touching
I hate to
up.
say goodbye, but like I said earlier, we have a lot of work. Somebody reminded me it's just 25 days before Christmas, and we have a lot of things that we've got to get taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
So we really have enjoyed these special times with you and the boys and girls from all the different places that have joined us today for this.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Santa.
Yes. I love
Okay,
it.
so one more thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to go into my tree with the white, and I'm just dabbing a little extra white on there. And if your red and your yellow dots aren't dry yet, you can come back and do this after. I'm just adding a couple of white dots just to make that snow look a little bit brighter. And then to finish off my globe, I'm just going to go in and add a couple of little white pieces there just to make that outside shine a little bit.
Looking
And
good.
I'm going to switch to my small brush. Okay, and I'm just going to put some dots. And that is just making it look like it's snowing.
There you go. This is
Inside our little snow globe. Just like that. And if you want, this is an extra step if you want to do it. I know everybody's finishing up. Somebody wants to know if you like strawberries, Santa.
oh, Santa.
Oh, I love fruit. And
Yeah.
Oz has been making sure Santa's been eating so many cookies, but she's trying to replace it and strawberries and blueberries. But the favorite fruit of all by Santa is raspberries.
Oh, Santa.
But I also like mangoes, and I also like bananas,
Wow.
kiwi fruit.
You forgot
Yum.
Rudolph's nose. Round and red. Not a strawberry, but a cherry.
Oh. Okay, so this is one more thing I'm going to do just to show you guys. You don't have to do this. You should wait until your painting is entirely dry to do this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do it, but you can come back and look at the video, okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of an outline kind of to my Christmas tree along the edge like that.
Oh, wow. Does that ever make it pop out?
Makes it pop out, but you want to make sure it's dry when you do this, okay? And then through the center of it, I'm going to move it up really close so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going in and I'm just adding just a little bit of black in there. And all that's doing is it's just making our tree pop a little bit. Just like that. Does it make that pop out nice?
Lorelei, Alice is asking me about mango, and I fall in love with mango at this time of year because that comes from all of my southern friends in the southern hemisphere.
Oh, there we go.
Their fruits, okay, down there in Australia and New Zealand and Papua New Guinea and all of those countries down there, okay, and they have this wonderful little fruit that Santa just loves called mango.
Oh, wow.
Ask your mom and dad about it. Oh, my goodness. And I'm sure that if you go to your grocery stores and you look up some mixed fruits, Mrs. Claus is trying to get me to eat more fruit this year.
Oh.
Before, and there's always a nice big yellow piece of mango in those mixed fruits.
Oh, there you go.
I hope you can enjoy some fruit as well.
Okay, so you can come back and you can touch up in here if you want later on. Let that dry, touch it up. I'm going to show you one last step, and you can do this later if you want. This is the last thing. So I have a piece of paper towel here, and I'm just scrunching it up. Okay, really, really scrunchy. I'm going to use my white. I'm just going to dab it very, very gently in the white. And then watch this. This is just going to completely transform our painting. Are you ready?
I'm ready. What you doing?
We're going to start on the outside. And I'm just going to dab that right along the edge. Just like that. What does that do?
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Yeah, it's adding a little bit of snow to it.
That's our snow.
There we go. So anybody who likes snow, here's your snow. And later on, if you have sparkly paint, you can add sparkles to this. Would make it really, really sparkle. I have, and I'll show you guys. I have a bunch of different sparkly paints here. I've got blue, I've got silver. You can add that later on once everything's dry, and it'll make it just shine.
So, Laura Lee, we got a couple more questions here that Santa needs to answer.
Okay, and then
we'll remind people that my favorite place is always the same. It needs to be your favorite place because there's no place like home.
Oh,
right? And my favorite place is always right here beside my Mrs. Claus. My favorite place is right here in our home in the North Pole, nice and cozy. And outside it's minus 39. All right. And so I always want to remind people, okay, the most important thing is love.
Yeah.
All right. And make those cookies, but make sure that you always spread love. And if there's everything we need right now at this time of year, I need all of you boys and girls to help me with moms and dads to be just a little more loving, a little more kinder, a little bit nicer, okay? And find somebody and give them a cookie.
Santa.
That's so funny, Santa.
Santa and his cookies. I don't know, Miss Laura Lee.
Oh, my goodness. So we're pretty much done here. I have a couple things I want to talk about before I let you guys go. Is that okay?
It's perfectly fine.
Okay. So number one, when you are done your painting, everybody out there who's doing this painting, can you please go to our Facebook page, Artistically Mused, and click on reviews and post your paintings under reviews. I know I want to see them. I know you and Santa want to see them, Mrs.
Absolutely.
We would love to see them. Also, as a reminder, in the link for this video, there is a donation link. We are trying to raise as much money as we can. I know some people will be watching the replay of this. We want to raise as much money as we can for the Santa Fund.
Yes.
Also, if you go to artisticallymuse.com, my brush baths are all ready for Christmas. They're great for artists, crafters, makeup lovers, everybody. And part of the proceeds from our brush bath is going to the Santa Fund as well.
Yes, so let's see if we can help them out this year and really chip in and get the Santa Fund up and over the top so all those kids and families that need the help will get it.
There you go. And we have quite a few kids saying that they love you, Santa. They love you, Mrs. Claus.
We love you guys, too. We're so glad you were able to join us today. What a fun afternoon.
Oh, it was so much fun. Are you ready to show me your painting, Mrs. Claus?
Just about. I got to finish one little touch-up, and then I'll be ready.
Okay, perfect. If anybody wants to say anything before we go, we're getting ready to go soon.
Well, Mrs. Claus and I will post our picture as well so that everybody can see that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Send that to me and I will post it for you.
And we'll make sure we do that after this is over. But again, we just want to thank Artistically Mused for this wonderful time. But really, I want to thank all of you boys and girls who took the time out, okay, to be part of this. And I want to just keep reminding you that everything is going to be okay. And love wins always. Just keep spreading that love around to everybody that you possibly can.
That's amazing, Santa. Thank you so much. And you stay safe up there.
All set
soon.
I just got the last little bit here.
Okay.
He's just dabbing on her.
I just wanted to get my snowflakes to look good.
There we go.
Okay. And moving it over.
Oh my goodness, Mrs. Claus, that looks so amazing.
Okay, let's see. Can we see it on the camera there?
Go towards your face. Oh, there we go. Towards your face a little bit.
Oh, this way.
There we go.
And
oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. So good. You did such a wonderful job.
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Oh my God. Jackson says goodbye. Oh my goodness.
Thanks for joining us.
All the kids. Thank you. So Emily says goodbye and thank you. All the kids out watching today say thank you very much. They can't wait to show us the paintings they did.
Wait to see them all. And remember, even though your elf may not have arrived yet, please start being extra good. Help out with mom and dad. Be extra nice because I want to hear those good reports. Santa comes home and shares everything. So
there we go.
You're starting to get ready for your elves.
Okay, I'm going to switch the view on my camera. Will you say a few words to say goodbye, and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay, Miss Laura-Lee.
I'll be right back.
So, kids, the last thing we want to say is we really do want to see your pictures, so please send them in, your paintings, so that Laura-Lee can post them. And as I said, those that are getting their elves, you know, if they come in a mask, you know, let them isolate. Make sure they wear their mask for 14 days. If they come in their special jars or in a special way to isolate, give them time. But when they're out and about, make sure you have your fun with them. Make sure you keep an eye on them, but don't feed them sugar. Remember, elves, don't feed them sugar no matter what you do, because then they become as bad as Santa. Don't do that.
Well, and Santa's just getting all ready to go out here to see the reindeer again and out to the shop. But Miss Laura-Lee, I just want to thank you so very much for this wonderful time that we've had these last couple of weeks with you and all the boys and girls. And as I'm getting my gloves on here, I just get ready to go back outside again. Of course, just one of my last, as I always say, ho, 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 and Merry Christmas. And to all, a good night.
Bye, Santa. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There we have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. We had such a wonderful time. There is my painting right there. I'm so happy. I will actually be leaving this video up for probably a week or so everybody gets a chance to try this painting. I will be also posting the reindeer one that we did a couple weeks ago. They will be up for a limited amount of time. I'm going to put a donation link on it as well. So if you guys do one of the paintings, please, please, please help us raise some money for the Santa Fund. We so appreciate your help. There's so many people out there that need help with Christmas this year. It's been a difficult year, and I just want to make sure that we're all doing whatever we can to help out. So I will post both videos. I'll leave them up for a limited amount of time with the donation link on it. And just a reminder, I do have the brush bath on artisticallymuse.com. It is an amazing cleaner for your brushes, your makeup brushes, your paint brushes, everything. And I will be donating part of the proceeds of this brush bath as well to the Santa Fund. We want to raise as much money as we can. So I'm going to leave the link up, and I'm going to put a donation link. And until December 8th, you guys can make donations, and we want to try and raise as much money as we can for the Santa Fund. Okay, guys? As always, thank you so much for joining me. I had a wonderful time. Make sure you go to our page, artisticallymuse.com on Facebook. If you click on reviews, I would love to see your paintings, guys. I would love to see them so much. Post your picture, post your comments, whatever you would like. And as always, I had a wonderful time with you guys. Stay tuned for so many amazing new things to come on artisticallymuse.com. If you haven't already, go over to artisticallymuse.com, create your free account, and you will get updates. You will get information. You'll get newsletters, and we have a lot of great contests coming up too. So thank you so very much for joining me. I had such a wonderful time today. I hope everybody else had a wonderful time. Try and have a wonderful week, and stay tuned for much, much more exciting things to come. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.